At some point in every professional athlete's career,
They have to think about life
after the game.
So we open our own franchise.
Get your cupcake!
Who doesn't love cupcakes? It's fun to work with my best friends every day.
Thank y'all so much,
And we saw on your Instagram that you do crazy cakes.
Casino slot machine.
Voila. We do have our ups and our downs.
Your daughter wants to try out for football.
We're $46,500 in the hole. This is not a game.
But at the end of the day, just being together on a team, can't beat it.
We ready to go.
Legit.
And welcome back into ESPN 97.5, 92.5. I am joined by three guys who are collectively known as the Cupcake guys. I got Michael Griffin, Brian Henson, and Brian Orakpo all with us. Guys, congrats on the show. How y'all doing?
Great.
Hey, it's so great to talk to y'all. Let's get into it. Today, the show's streaming now. People can check out kind of an inside look on y'all's venture into your entrepreneurial spirit with the Cupcake guys. Brian Henson, why don't you tell them a little bit about the show?
All right, so the show is a documentary. It kind of walks through kind of our entrepreneurial life, our family, and of course, baking. You get to see the good and the bad, because cupcakes aren't always sweet. So we got a little bit of drama here and there. So excited to see the show.
Now, was it difficult for you, Griff? Obviously you're used to pressure being on. But pressure being on in the kitchen and having the television cameras in your face, was that an odd thing for you to have to go through?
I think it's more hard with the fact that having family involved, people being in your personal life, things that go on behind the scenes, fatherhood, things of those nature, being able to juggle the entrepreneurship on the business, but at the same time being there for the kids. So that got some getting used to, and still having the busy schedule that we did have. But again, we managed to get through it.
Now, Brian Orakpo, also known as Big Brian. Some people call him Big Brian. You at one time, I saw an interview where you said you're the greatest athlete baker of all time. Is that true?
I don't like to toot my own horn, but yeah, that's true. For sure. Absolutely. Might as well embrace it, right?
Where did that start? Like, where do you start baking? Like, how does that even begin?
Yeah, well, I'm more of the decorator, but baking, decorating, obviously, is in the same category. But it started because, I don't know, it's just like you play football, professional sport for so long, and the passion you want to pick up different things, different hobbies, and we all enjoyed sweets, and once we got really indulged ourselves in the business, I kind of teetered towards the decorating side, and it just became an art for me. I loved just putting together creative cupcakes. It was just a sense of calmness for me after hitting quarterbacks for all my life. So, it was definitely satisfying to put cupcakes together and to serve the customers, and they enjoy it.
Again, we're talking to the Cupcake guys. The show is on the Roku channel right now. It debuted today. Griff, you were shaking your head though, my man, when I said that he was the best in the biz over here, Big Brian. You feel like that's the title that you should have?
Well, you said baker. That's where I got. We all got egos. That's one thing we always laugh about is as athletes we tend to have egos. That's something that Big Brian always tends to tell us that sometimes it's okay, just let it be and let's keep it rolling. But he does a fantastic job. If I can't be able to get back in the kitchen and bake, he's able to hold down the whole board and do everything he needs to do to get the job done.
Now, whose idea was it between the three of you to go into business together? Who was the pitch man?
Yeah, it was me. It's a true story. I was brains of the operation, trying to get these guys to get on board. Because when you think about it, three guys, we have no idea in a baking, decorating setting. They just gonna laugh at you, So, but I kept pitching it, and they eventually listened because they knew how serious I was. Usually, I'm always joking with stuff, but no, it became serious, and we started making some calls. We started making some trips to corporate, and they were one thing to help us. They were huge Tennessee Titans fans at the time. We were playing for the Titans, and it just made the transition a lot smoother. And here we are today. These guys probably won't admit it, but they will thank me every day for it.
I always say it was like the best, worst decision we've made. It's who knew we'd be at this point right now.
Definitely the reserve guy. So when he brought that up, I'm like the safe guy. I don't want to do it, but he's like, Griff, they kept doing this. I was like, you know what, y'all two. But once he convinced Tim, I was like, all right, I'm ready to go. I'll go with it.
Now I'm sitting in Houston, Texas. Y'all are, of course, Austin, Texas. But I know Brian and Brian, y'all both have roots to the Houston area.
Sure.
Brian, you're from Texas City, which I'm out at all the time. And then Brian Arakpo, you and I believe we have the same alma mater as far as high schools go. Lamar High School, right?
Lamar, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I went to Lamar. Were you under the expert tutelage of Coach Nolan, or who was your coach back?
Nolan. That is my guy, Coach Nolan. That was my coach for all 4 years, for sure.
Yeah. What do you remember learning there at Lamar? Not so much from the curriculars. Obviously, we didn't learn a lot at Lamar High School. I'm just kidding. But what do you remember about coach and just kind of coming up in that system?
No, that system was awesome. I mean, that whole program was amazing. Because one thing I know we're joking, but all seriousness though, one thing I appreciate about Lamar is that we had so many different coaches, people, and we all loved each other. We all went to school, went football team, and people that I thought I would never meet in my entire life. And Lamar had a great blend of cultures, and it just blossomed to us having not only an excellent football team, but we thrived in different aspects outside of the field, with the people that went to Lamar. So I credit that school for a lot of my success today, for just experiencing a program, a school system that was built on people achieving their ultimate goals.
Yeah, man. Oh, that's a great answer. Griff, when you're in the NFL, and obviously every athlete, time waits for no man, right? Father Time's undefeated. So at every athlete's point, you have to make the decision to walk away from the game. Did you have in your mind what the next step was going to be?
Honestly, I didn't. I went back to school. I had one semester left, and then as I was trying to figure out what was the next step, I tried the whole intern coaching with the NFL, which was kind of funny because Rack was still playing. I wasn't, so I was on quote unquote the coaching staff while he was a player, but we were business partners at the same time. So that's a conflict of interest, and I realized that is something I did not want to do. But yeah, when Rack pitched the idea or whatever of doing it, it was like, okay, I have nothing really to do. It was just something to bypass that time that I had a lot of time on my hands and whatnot. And I would say that it did help me through that transition. A lot of times people are not able to transition because they don't have a plan B when it comes to playing in the NFL. So it came at the perfect time for me.
Now, Brian, you all went to University of Texas, but Brian in the middle, long way from Texas City, not too long, but coming down 45 South all the way to the great city and state of Austin, Texas. Talk about Austin, because I think people outside of Texas don't realize the vibe that's there. It's really LA South, and it's been booming over the last years. Tell people about kind of Austin, Texas, and what attributes the city adds to what y'all are doing.
Well, Austin is kind of like the mini Silicon Valley. I mean, it's the tech capital of the South part of the United States. We got Tesla, Samsung, Google, Facebook, all in this one metroplex. So we got the lake, the huge, beautiful lake, the best food in Texas, and just think about the University of Texas being a professional team, because we got 110,000 people packed out in the stadium each and every Saturday. So it's just an amazing city. We all grew up there. Griff's originally from Austin, and Rack and I have been there over 18 years. So it's just an amazing place.
Austin's a beautiful place. Now, in the show, the Cupcake Guys, you also, not only do you have kind of a back and forth with one another and trying to make this business happen, every so often you have kind of an order that comes in for somebody of notoriety. And I think everybody knows the Undertaker's name carries weight all over the state and the world. Undertaker, one of the greatest of all time, WWE Hall of Famer. What was that like to have to do something with the Undertaker?
Yeah, that was amazing. He's a good friend of ours, and not to give any spoilers away, but he really was one of a huge component of the success of the show. Him wanting to be a part of it, as far as getting surprising him with the cake. His wife reached out. So no, it was great, man. Have a child. I mean, he's a good friend of ours, but still, he's a childhood hero of many. I mean, Undertaker's name holds a lot of weight. You say Undertaker, you know exactly what you're talking about. So, Mark Calloway did a phenomenal job. We surprised him, but like I said, I don't want to give too many spoilers away. But we appreciate his wife for giving us a chance of making a beautiful cake for him and embracing his Hall of Fame career.
Yeah, again, the Cupcake guys on the Roku channel right now. You can stream the episodes. Roku channel free, guys. The episodes are streaming today. Okay, let me ask y'all this. We just saw, we're in the middle of the playoffs, right? We saw the wild card game. Dallas Cowboys were able to pull it off against Tom Brady. Could have been Tom Brady's last game, right? It's very well possible that's the last time we saw Tom lace him up on the field. What is the cupcake or the cake that you send to Tom Brady to celebrate his last game? What are we making, Tom? What are the ingredients? What's the design if we had to send him something today?
You know what? Honestly, I want to say he's the GOAT. And with that being the GOAT, it's one of those things that I don't think necessarily that's something you send them off with. I think you give him a variety pack. You give him a little bit of everything. I mean, you think about it. He's achieved everything that you could possibly achieve when it comes to playing in the National Football League. Starting where he started out at, and being to where he is today. I don't think that it's hard for anybody to accomplish what he has done and to do it for so long. So I think you have to send him a variety pack. You have to give him a little bit of all type of cupcakes. I don't think there's not one cupcake that will describe his career or describe himself.
Y'all agree with that?
I agree, yeah. I mean, hands down, best quarterback we've played against. The best. I don't even think that's an argument. Most people say arguably the best. No, he is the best. And a variety pack of cupcake. This way, you got your cookies and cream. You got your because he's done it all. He's had everything you think of. Everything you think of. Every year, every championship he's won. I believe he's won 7. I mean, every year was different. It was a dynamic year, but he won it a different way. So, hats off to him if he was to call it a career. Hats off to him. He deserved it. And I mean, talking about Kobe had a parade when he was officially done. Tom Brady needs to have this farewell as well.
I definitely agree with that. Now, Brian, they say never enter into business with your friends or your family. Has it been difficult to go into this? Brian Hitson, I'm talking to. Has it been difficult to kind of balance that between business and the friendship that y'all have? Because you can tell y'all are so close.
I honestly don't think it has been. I mean, we have our quarrels and everything in our fights, but we all come to an agreement. I think the thing that most people they need to try to do is have an agreement between each other. I mean, we have a vote. Anytime we have anything on it, it's 2 out of 3. Whoever gets the 2 out of 3 vote on something, that's what we go with, and we respect it. And I also think you have to be able to take emotions out. I mean, this is a business. Sometimes you have to make some tough decisions. Even going through COVID, throughout the show, we had to make some tough business decisions, and we learned from it, and there's no feelings involved. So I think that's what's made us so successful.
Would you echo that, Griff? Y'all kind of have those rules set in place, and that's what's made it so successful?
Yeah, no question. You got something you fall back to. We had some guidelines that we all spoke about, we talked about, put it in writing, we all signed it. And again, you have those disagreements, you know where to go right back to. And pretty much clear cut and dry.
Now, I'll ask this, and again, the Cupcake guys on the Roku channel right now. You can stream it, guys. I really appreciate y'all's time. I guess last question, and I'll go to each of you. Really, what's the one thing, if you had to get like a one sentence, what's the one thing you hope people take away from this show? I'll start with Brian Orakpo.
The one thing I would say is one sentence I would say is believe in yourself. I know it sounds cliche, but believe in yourself. I mean, Brian used to play football way back then, but specifically for me and Griff, I mean, you're taking 2 NFLers, 2 football crazy men, I should say, and we're in a bakery decorating cupcakes. I mean, you can't even make that up. So believe in yourself, believe in your dream, in your passion, and go for it.
And I'd say let's abolish some of those gender roles and stereotypes. I mean, I think these guys show and they embody it well. You can have two big burly men with beards and a pink apron, and they're 100% confident in it. So
I'm gonna go a little bit comical. I'm gonna go. Don't let cupcakes get in the middle of your friendships.
You know what? I think Griff, those are words to live by for everybody. Man, woman, or child, married or not. Don't let cupcakes interrupt your life, guys. But we use them to celebrate our lives, and we're celebrating all of y'all right now. I love the show, Roku channel. I cannot tell people enough to go and check this out. The Cupcake Guys, the episodes are streaming now. Brian, Griff, thank y'all so much for taking the time.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
At some point in every professional athlete's career,
They have to think about life after the game. So we open our own franchise.
Get your cupcake.
Who doesn't love cupcakes? It's fun to work with my best friends every day.
Thank y'all so much, man.
And we saw on your Instagram that you do crazy cakes.
Casino slot machine. Voila.
We do have our ups and our downs.
Your daughter wants to try out for football.
We're $46,500 in the hole. This is not a game.
But at the end of the day, just being together on a team, can't beat it.
We ready to go.
Legit.